All right, guys, it is time to add some automation to our mix.
At McCrae Music.
Hey guys, how are you doing? I'm richly blessed. I pray that you are as well. We are getting closer to the end of our mix, or at least our first mix, and we're at the point where we're ready to start writing some automation. Automation is going to allow us to pretty much automate anything that we want in the mix, the volumes or levels of certain things, the panning. We can automate pretty much any aspect of different plugins. Sometimes you might find that you need to automate like the threshold, for example, on a compressor. Maybe it's not hitting hard enough at one point, but maybe it's hitting too hard at another point. One of the ways to deal with that would be to automate, right? And automation is a great way to add dynamics and add just extra feeling and really artistic creativity as an engineer to your mix. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it in two parts. Before we get into part one, I want you to please go ahead and hit like on this video. Also, you want to subscribe to the channel so you can get notifications and know exactly what is coming up, and be notified about new videos that are out and all that kind of thing, because you don't want to miss anything, right? Of course you don't. All right, with that being said, let's jump into part one and learn how to add some automation. All right, guys, it is time to automate stuff. Okay, so why do we need to automate? Well, we need to automate because as we move through a song, and this is going to be the case with pretty much any song, all right, things are going to change at different parts. There are certain parts of the song that are going to be quieter, other parts that are going to be louder. Sometimes you need to bring more energy at certain points of the song. When you have a song with background vocals with different background parts, you might need a different blend for those different background parts at different times, which is one of the things that's happening here. And one of the most important reasons we need to automate is to make sure that lead vocal stays up top, right? That lead vocal is king. So that needs to be at the top of the mix. And as different instruments and vocals come in and out, right, the level that lead vocal is going to need to be so it's not too loud and not too quiet is going to change. So the way we fix that is through automation. All right, now, quick automation lesson. There are different automation modes that we can use. So in whatever DAW you are using, you are going to have an automation area, and pretty much all DAWs are going to have this similar or identical language, all right? You're going to find an area that says read, all right? And what read basically means is it's reading the automation. So it's performing stuff, it's not recording anything. Now, when we're ready to record automation, if I click the option here, I'm going to see a couple of different things. Now, here's where some DAWs will be different. Here in Luna, there is no write mode, all right? Write mode, like Pro Tools has a write mode. Basically, write would overwrite anything else that was going on. So let's say I did a whole bunch of automation on the fader, and I want to completely redo it, right? Completely, I can hit write, and it will basically erase everything or overwrite everything that I've done, okay? So that's a destructive type of automation. Then we have touch, which I have here. Most DAWs are going to have that. Touch basically means it's going to remember what was done, and it's only going to record the automation if you touch something, right? So if I have it on touch, let's say I did all of my lead vocal automation and it all sounds great, but then I notice there's one part I need to bring it down a little bit. I can go and hit touch, turn on touch. When it gets to that part, I can go ahead and move what I need to move. And when I let go, it's going to pop right back to where it originally was. All right. So that's what touch does. And then we have here in Luna, we have a latch setting. And latch is going to be similar to touch, except it's not going to pop back. Right. So with touch, if we move it and when we let go, it's going to go back to what it was before. Latch is not going to do that. So latch is like, let's say I've done half of the automation that I want to do on a particular track, and then now I want to start automating again, but I want it to stay at that level, right? So I want to move the fader or move a pan or panning pot or whatever, and I want it to stay there, right? Latch is going to do just that, all right? I've got a trim setting in here. We don't need to worry about that. And like I said, most DAWs will have write. Luna, for whatever reason, chose not to use a write setting. And their touch setting is kind of the way, I forget the exact explanation about why they chose to do that. I think it's because they were modeling classic console that did not have a right setting and you use touch instead. I've never done actual automation like back in the day when you had to have a whole computer on an SSL or whatever just to automate. I never did any of that, right? So I can't relate to that. All my automation has always been in the box, all right? So that's what we're doing here. All right, so that's a nice little lesson on automation for you. All right, anyway, what am I going to automate here? We're going to do a few different things. First thing I'm going to focus on is just the different background parts and just getting the blend of those background parts the way I want in each section. Next thing that we'll do after that is I will probably do a whole pass from the beginning to end of just the lead vocal. And then what I like to do is go one section at a time and kind of automate certain things up and down the way that I want them to be. All right. Now, I might not make you guys sit through all of that. I might do that and then just break the video up into multiple parts. We'll see. Whatever intro you heard before I started doing this will let you know what was going to happen. Right. But let's jump in here and let's do it. Let's start with turning on our vocals here. So let's go ahead and turn on all of these guys because we're going to automate y'all. So we need to look at you. And I'm going to focus on these main background vocals here because that's what is happening. Let's zoom in a little bit on that. So I'm going to focus on these. I already have groups created over here. Groups are really good to use when it's for both editing and for automation, right? So like I could grab all the bottom notes, all the mid notes, all the top notes, all the special notes, all the notes, right? So I'm going to use those groups. I'm going to turn those on and off. But here we go. Let's start with this. Now what I've got going on here is there's a unison section with just the altos here, just the middle notes, and then they break off into harmony. So I don't think, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to automate just the unison because I might want those to be a little bit louder, and then we'll get into the harmony part. All right. So let's start by just putting a cycle around. Let's zoom in a little bit more so I can see. There we go. And let's just put a nice cycle around the area that I want to automate. So I'm going to create a loop right here. And we are going to dial in some automation. So what I like to do is when I'm getting ready to automate, I'm going to go ahead and turn my automation to off. I'm going to then go ahead and dial it in the way I want. And then when I'm ready to actually automate, I'm going to switch it to touch. If I was in Pro Tools, if you're in Pro Tools or some other DAW, you might switch it to write. Here, I'm going to switch it to touch and then actually write my automation. All right. All right, let's do it. Let's see what we got. Now, I want to be clear too. I'm really just focused on the balance right now. The overall level of the background is going to be automated by my bus, right? So I'm not really worried about bringing the overall level of them up. I'm more so just worried about the balancing of them right now. And then we're going to come back and deal with the overall level of everything when we start going to each section of the song. All right, that's good. I'm going to write that just like that. And again, I'm doing this even though it's unison. I'm going to write this because when it gets to the harmony, it's probably going to change, right? So I want to write it like this and I like it where it is as unison. So I'm turning it to touch. I'm just going to go ahead and touch the fader a little bit, and it's going to record. Good. So now watch what happens if I turn it on read. Watch what happens if I move the faders. See how it keeps going back, right? That's the automation has recorded that's where it was supposed to be. Now notice it did a weird little jump at the beginning. Let me make sure there's not something funky going on there. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. Let me redo that real quick. Not sure why I did that. I know why, because when it started over, I think I grabbed it again by mistake. All right, so there we go. That's written in. Let's test it again just so you can see. Right, so it doesn't matter what I do. It's going to keep going back to that, okay? Now, one of the other ways that you could do this is actually manually write the automation. I don't tend to like to do it that way in cases like this where I need to hear. If it's like an overall thing, like for the bus, I probably will manually write it because I'm like, I know I want to bring it up, bring the whole thing down. But what you can do is you can come out here and let's actually take a look. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. And if I go to view, and again, depending on the DAW you're in, you could do the same thing in different ways. In Luna here, I'm going to click view. See how it says clips? That means it's showing me the waveform or the audio clips here. If I click on clips here, I can tell it to, I can view different automation. So we can see in orange here that automation has been recorded for the volume of these tracks, right? I see mute, pan, pretty much anything that's going on in any plugin on a track, you can automate. Now, sometimes there might be some what's the word I'm looking for? Now, sometimes there might be some exceptions to that, but pretty much you can automate anything you want, which is really cool. So if I switch this to volume, right, you can see these dots here. This is where the automation is being written, right? And that's why if I play this and I pull it, it's going to come right back up to that. Watch. All right, so it's coming right back up to that. All right, you got it? You understand what we're doing now? All right, cool. So now let's go ahead and do this for this harmony part. So I'm going to go ahead and start after or select after I was done with this first part. And now we're going to automate this harmony. Now, the good thing is this is the exact same harmony I believe that's going on in the second chorus. So after we get this, we're just going to go ahead and write the second chorus right away too. But let's go ahead and switch this to, let's make sure we have our group on. Let's switch this to off. And now I'm going to turn my overall group off so I can move each section independently. All right, let's see what we got. Reveal your plan, I'm ready. No, see, so in this case, that main note is sticking out a little bit too much, right? So that's why I wanted to get that unison part first, because I figured here I'm going to want to bring it down and rebalance things. All right, so let's bring that down a little bit, and then we're going to rebalance. What I like to do sometimes with harmonies is I'll mute everything except for one part, and then I'll bring each part in one at a time and balance it. And then I'll balance it all together, right, to kind of hear. And you'll see me probably close my eyes and stuff because it kind of helps me to hear better, I guess. I don't know. I don't think that's scientifically true, but I'm really focusing in on what I'm listening to. All right, so let's do it. Let's mute everything except for this mid note. And let's see what we've got. Reveal your plan, I'm ready. No, I 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 reveal your plan, I'm ready. No, I. This is the part of mixing where if you are in the house with an engineer, you get to listen to the same part of the song or phrase over and over and over and over again. So, you know, say a prayer for my wife, please, because this is what she gets to do. And she's real good about it. She'll be in the kitchen and she'll be bopping around singing that same part over and over again. So she's kind of used to it by now. Or she'll just go to another part of the house and be like, you know what, I regret everything. Reveal your plan, I'm ready. No, I 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 reveal your plan. There it is. You can hear when it locks in. You can feel it. All right, so I think that's what I want. Let's go ahead and turn all of them back on. Let's turn it to touch. Let's go ahead and write that, and then we'll listen to how that sounds in the second chorus and see if we can just keep the same settings. Reveal your plan, I'm ready. No, I reveal your plan. All right, so that's good. Let's go over to the second chorus. And let's see if we can keep that same setting for this whole second chorus, or if we need to change it. All right, we're going to need to change it, but I know that it's good for this end part. And the reason I need to change it is because of this special note. It's doing some similar things as the bottom note, so I'm not going to be able to use that same setting for the first half, but I know I can use it for this part right here. So let's go ahead and grab that. Something went off with that. Hold on. Let's go back. So if you're ever doing this and something weird happens, what you can do, turn your automation back on, go to the part that you want it, and then play it and turn it off while it's playing, right? So watch. Off. So now I'm back on that setting, right? So now I can come here and I can write this the way I want it to. All right, let's try that again. Touch. Touch. The blend is fine, just the overall volume needs to come up. That's why it sounds different to me. All right, let's deal with this first half. We're gonna get right before that, and let's lock this in. There we go. Subtle changes. All right, let's go ahead and lock that in. All right. Let's go to the last chorus. What happens here? Go back to the unison. Okay, so we got 3 different parts here. All right, so this is this part. So let's go ahead and write that part. Touch, just a touch. we go.
It's your love that keeps me steady. It's your...
So now we're going to do what I showed you before. I'm going to go back to the others, and I could copy and paste, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go back to these. We're going to play, we're going to read, and then we'll turn it off. I can use that same setting for here. All right. Oh no, I'm trying to do it from that view. Need to do that in the mixer views. Easier, I think. Yeah, we didn't get that where we needed it to be. We need to be right in here. What, reveal, not evil. Evil your plan.
Reveal your plan, I'm ready. No, reveal your...
There we go. All right, now let's go back and get the unison all the way. Remember, we did that a long time ago at the very beginning. Let's go ahead and grab that. All right, I'm going to use that here. And again, I could, if I wanted to, go into the volume setting and just do a copy paste. But I actually like writing it like this. I don't know. It's kind of a soothing process for me. All right. I think that does it for those vocals. Yes, it does. All right. So we are good. So we can turn that back to read. And we're actually good with those for the time being. Like I said, we'll come back and deal with the overall volume of them when we go to each section of the song. All right, so now we have some vocals that are happening in the second verse. We have these color vocals here, and we're going to need to automate this. Let's resize everything. We're going to need to automate these because then there's something different happening on those tracks at the end, all right? So we're going to need to automate this in here. So let's go ahead and highlight this. Let's turn on our lead vocal because these are harmonizing with the lead vocal, and let's do the same process and dial in our balance.
I ain't gonna make a promise this time I will never walk away again, but I'm determined to live, committed to...
Do I have a group for this? I have groups for them individually. No, I clearly do have a group for all of them. Oh, color BVs, duh. You know why? Because I labeled all these LV harms and then I named it color BVs. That's why I was confused. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled programming.
I ain't gonna make a promise this time I will never walk away again, but I'm determined to live, committed to your plan. I don't want to talk about how much I love you, but live any kind of way. I ain't gonna make a promise this time I will never walk away again, but I'm determined to live, committed to your plan. I don't want to talk about how much I love.
I think that's good. The overall volume will change. I think that's good right there. Let's write that.
I ain't gonna make a promise this time I will never walk away again, but I'm determined to live, committed to your plan. I don't want to talk about how much I love you, but live any kind of way. I want all that I do to be the proof my love is on display. You, oh Lord, I ain't gonna make a...
All right, sounds good. One of the things you want to try to avoid is overthinking, right? Just lock, once it sounds good, boom, lock it in, all right? Because you'll sit there tweaking everything for the rest of eternity if you let yourself. All right, let's hear what's going on back here. I think he just did a whole bunch of like stuff. So let's hear what's happening in here.
I ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere. No, I ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere.
Okay, so these are the main harmonies, and then he did some other stuff over here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is really, I'm just going to worry about these harmonies for right now, and then we'll dial these in after I'm done with that. So let's just mute those for now because we got to pan those and everything.
I ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere. No, I ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere.
Rendering.
I ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere. No, I ain't going nowhere.
Let's also turn these I ain't going nowheres off real quick. I just want to hear this balance a little bit better.
I ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere. No, I ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere. I'm safe with you, I'm safe with you. Going nowhere, ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere. No, I ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere.
All right, I think that's good. Let's go ahead and write that. We're not changing colors. Let's just write that.
I ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere. No, I ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere. I'm safe with you, I'm safe with you. Going nowhere, ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere, ain't going.
Now, I'm realizing because these are only happening here, I actually might not need to write anything because they're doing the same thing. So what I'm going to actually do is this. I'm going to actually erase the automation that I did because there's nothing else happening here except for right there. So I'm actually going to erase the automation that I did earlier on those. And I'm going to do that just by highlighting, boop, and delete. Bye-bye. And so now I actually don't have to automate this because the only thing that's happening is, happening at that particular part of the song. There's nothing different going on. So I can just kind of dial that in. So let's kind of do that.
Nowhere, ain't going nowhere. No, I ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere.
All right, now let's see what each of these things are doing. And I'll do it in context with the lead vocal.
Nowhere, ain't going nowhere.
Now also, why do I have a group for that? I don't need that. Let's delete that group. All right.
Nowhere, ain't going nowhere. No, I ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere. I'm safe with you, I'm safe with you. Going nowhere, ain't going nowhere.
Oh, I remember what we did. All right, so I'm going,
Nowhere, ain't going nowhere. No, I ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere. I'm safe with you, I'm safe with you. Going nowhere, ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere. Nowhere, ain't going nowhere. No, I ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere. I'm safe with you. Safe with you, going nowhere, ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere.
just a little ear candy stuff. All right, let's hear them all together.
Nowhere, ain't going nowhere. No, I ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere. I'm safe with you, I'm safe with you. Going nowhere, ain't going nowhere, ain't going nowhere.
All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so we're doing well. We got our automation going here. We're going to continue in part 2. We are going to complete our automation. We're going to fast forward through some of the stuff because I'm not going to make you sit there while I automate everything, because it can take a while actually as you go through a whole song. Thankfully, this song does not have that much, but sometimes it can take quite a while to get things exactly the way that you want them to be. But we're going to continue in part 2 and take a listen to where our mix is before we move on to our final stage, which is going to be dealing with the mix bus. All right, please feel free to leave comments in the comment section, and please feel free share this channel. I appreciate you guys. You're subscribing. The subscriber numbers are consistently going up, and I'm so appreciative of that. Please feel free to share this channel, and again, get into the comment section. You guys are asking questions. We're going back and forth. I really appreciate it. I always enjoy talking with you guys, so feel free to do that. And I'm going to see you guys in part 2 of automation.